everyone, it's Darla from crafty.yarn.owl. Welcome. Today we're going to be making this dress, beach cover up. If you take the belt off, let me just do that. Or it could be top if you make it shorter. I show you how to make this belt as well with the beads on it. So here's a lovely Peggy wearing her, could be beach cover up, or dress, or just something to throw over yourself when you want to run out and do some yarn shopping. All right, it's got, does have a flare that's built in, no increases, no going up hook sizes, it's just one hook size. Okay, so you want to, like, this is the same design, different weight of yarn, and I'll talk about that. You want to make sure you finish on the row that has the loops all the way around. On the sleeve, well, the sleeves build themselves, and then on the bottom, just because it's a cute little border. Okay, this is called the Ice Cream Sundae top. Sunday as in the day of the week. And why it's called that is because this is ice cream and this is a bowl. Ice cream bowl. Ice cream bowl. These stitches here are all ice cream. But you have the ice cream in the bowls over here. Down the middle of the back as well. And like I said, it has a flare, a built-in flare. I did not block this one. I want to though. And actually I want to make it a little bit longer. I mean, this is, you can just throw this over top of a bathing suit. You could throw it over top of, say, a tank top like I'm wearing here, tank top and shorts. If you just want to run out and grab some yarn, go yarn shopping or whatever you want to do, and just throw it over top. And yeah. So let's talk about the yarn for this and the yarn for this. First of all, before we talk about the yarn, I just want to show you what Peggy was wearing under this. It's just a long dress, cotton, I think it is. I got it from AliExpress, and it was like, I don't know, maybe $8 maybe, free shipping. So a really good deal, and you just wear this underneath. All right, so here it is on me as a beach cover up, or just you know, to throw over top of your tank top and shorts to go out. And it's got this flare. You know, it's really, I hope that flared around when I was turning. Woo! And then if you want to add this belt, I show you how to make the belt in the video. So all I did was, you could string it through. I mean, there's so many holes in here. You could string it through, or you could just put it on like this and just tie it, make a bow maybe, and wear it like that. It fit a little different on Peggy because she is skinnier than me. Or you can, you know, you pull it up under your girls if you want, like an empire look, I think it's called, or, you know, down by your waist. You know, whatever you want to do. Don't have to have it tight. You can have it loose. Oh, there's so many options. So many options, guys. Okay, now let's talk about the yarn. Now here are the supplies for this, what I used for this blue one here. I used Premier Cotton Sprout yarn. It's 100% cotton, 100 grams, 230 yards. It's a lightweight 3. And this colorway is Aqua. So I used 2 whole balls and then just a tiny bit of this one, but I plan on making this top a little bit longer. So 3 balls are definitely enough for a size. I'm about a medium large, but this is size adjustable, guys. I show you in the video where to try it on to make it fit you, all right? It's just a matter of crocheting more rows or taking out a couple of rows right when you get, you know, right around your girdle area. All right, so watch the video through to see where that is. Recommended hook is a 5mm, and that is what I used, a 5mm. And you will need 5 stitch markers. Actually, yeah, you need 5. This is to mark your row, your starting row, or where you start when you make your rows to make the item longer. All right. And of course, a darning needle to sew in your ends and a pair of scissors to cut off your yarn. Okay, so what you're going to do, if you make it in the white and purple one, it's the same design. The chain count at the top of your neck is just a little different. With the bigger weight, the 3 weight, it'll also work for a 4 weight. You'll be chaining 80 like I do in the actual video. All right, and you go from there. There's no multiples, just a chain of 80. If it seems a little tight, because we're starting at the top, if it seems a little tight around your neck, you can go up a hook size. Or you think it's too loose, go down a hook size. All right, so on to the white and purple one. Okay, now with the white and purple one, it's the same design, and I used this. I have some of this left over, which was a good thing because I used it, used some of it for the belt. All right, so this is it's a rainbow cotton by Hobie, 100% natural cotton. It says 8/4 quality. Now I noticed on their website that they have some of their 8/4s marked at a 2 weight and some are marked at a 1 weight. So I'm saying this one is a 1 weight. It is pretty thin. So I don't know why they have them like that, but they do. All right, so this is 100% cotton. Comes in a 50-gram ball, 186 yards. It's suggested crochet hook is 2.5 to 3.5. I went with the biggest because it's easier for me. This is a 3.5. And this colorway, it says number 1. Number 1. It's white. Number 1. Okay, that's how they have their colors on their labels by a number. So I used, I actually used 1 whole one of the white and then a second one. This is what I have of the second one, just some left. And the reason I did that is because when I went into the next color, I wanted it to show up on the edge here. And then the very last color I used, I added here. That's on the, where your arm goes through. All right, so the other ones I used are all right here. Same thing, these are all marked. I think these might have been in one of their 10-pack bags, their ombre kind of effect, because they're all marked at 1, size 1. But anyway, the other colors I used, okay, here's my other number 1, which was white. And let's see, I'm going to try to show you these colors as we go along, if it's going to show up true to color. All right, so 1 is the white. 39 would be a really light purple. Number 40 would be this a little bit darker purple. 41 is this even darker purple. 67 is even darker purple right here. And then 68 is, oh, I don't know if you can see that in the camera. This is even darker than up here. Yeah, not sure if it's showing true to color. But, so altogether, I used might as well say 2 of the white, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Because I pretty much used all of these, just had a little bit left of each one. So altogether, 8. So 186 yards times 8. Now, like I said, I think I said I'm a medium, between medium and large, I think. But it is size adjustable, so just watch the video to see where I show you it's size adjustable. And also for the, if you use a 1 weight or a 2 weight, your chain, instead of 80, like I started with for this neckline on this one, will be 112. Okay, you'll make a chain, you hook it at the ends, and I just put out a video to show you how to not have your yarn twisted when you're going to make your chain and hook it together and start crocheting around the chain. So please check that out if you'd like. All right, so chained 80 to start on that one, chained 112 to start on this one. On this top, and I'm going to write this in the description box too. On this top, for the ice cream and bowl, ice cream bowl, ice cream bowl, ice cream bowl, we have 4 of those in a row. Okay, now on the 1 weight yarn, we have 6. I put 6 in a row, so they spread across the item better. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So follow the tutorial, and once we make the 4 in a row there, and if you're using a 1 weight or 2 weight, make 2 more, and then just continue on from there. Okay, make 2 more, and then you should be able to follow. Let's see. Yeah, you'll be able to follow where to put the corners, because there'll be 4 corners. Yeah, just watch the tutorial all the way through. I'm pretty sure I answered any question that could be asked in the tutorial. I hope I did. And of course I said I'd also show you how to make the belt with the beads. And this is the one I made in the tutorial, the one for the blue. All right, let's just get started. Now we are going to make a chain of 80. Now this is going to go over your head. This will be your neckline. We're going to make it in a circle. If you require it to be smaller, you could use a smaller hook. If you require it to be bigger, use a bigger hook. And let's get started on that. So make a slip knot. And we're going to chain 80. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. When you're done your 80 chains, make sure that your chain is straight. You can lay it out in front of you if you like. And then we're going to go through that first chain right there. Grab your yarn and pull through both loops to connect your circle. All right, so now we're going to make a chain 1, and then we're going to go back in right in that spot, and we're going to make a single crochet. And we're going to make single crochets all the way around your chain, and when you have completed your single crochets, you will have 80. I will see you when I'm done the 80 single crochets. All right, I've counted and I have 80 single crochets. So we're going to slip stitch into that first single crochet we made. Okay. And now we're going to chain 5. We're going to make a V-stitch. So we're going to chain 5. So 1, 2, 3, that would count as a double crochet, and then chain 2 more counts as a chain 2. And then we're going to go back into that space with a double crochet. Okay, that's our first V-stitch. We're going to make a total of 4 of them in each corner. After you make your V-stitch, chain 1. Okay, I'm caught up on a pencil over here. There we go. All right. So now we're going to skip 3. 1, 2, 3. 3 stitches. We're going to go in the next one with a single crochet, a chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we're going to go back into that same spot with a single crochet, and then we're going to chain 1. Okay, so we're going to be chaining 1 after each of our V-stitch corners, and along here we're going to be chaining 1 after each of our little loops we're making. Okay, so skip 3 again, 1, 2, 3, go in the next one with a single crochet, chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, go back in that same stitch with a single crochet, and then chain 1. We're going to be making 4 of these loops. Okay, so we have 2 made. Skip the next 3 stitches, 1, 2, 3, go in the next one with a single crochet, chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then go back into that same stitch with a single crochet, chain 1. Okay, so now we have our V-stitch and we have 3 loops. We're going to make 1 more loop. So skip 3, 1, 2, 3, go in the next one with a single crochet, chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, go in that same stitch with a single crochet and a chain 1. Okay, so that's what we're going to be repeating around our circle. Okay, skip 3, 1, 2, 3, go in your next stitch with a V-stitch. So that's a double crochet, chain 2, and another double crochet in the same spot, chain 1. Okay, then skip 3, 1, 2, 3, go in the next stitch with a single crochet, chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, go in that same stitch with a single crochet, chain 1. Okay, skip 3 stitches, 1, 2, 3, go in the next with a single crochet, chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, go in that same stitch right here with a single crochet and chain 1. Alright, so we've made our V-stitch here, and we've made 2 loops. We need to make 2 more loops. Skip the next 3 stitches, go in the next one with a single crochet, chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, go in that same stitch with a single crochet, chain 1. Okay, skip the next 3, go in the next one with a single crochet, chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, go in that same stitch with a single crochet, chain 1. Okay, now if you like, you can mark your V-stitches. Like this is a V-stitch, you can mark it with your stitch marker. And then we have our 4 loops. And we're going to keep repeating that around the row. So the next thing you do is skip 3 stitches, and then you make your V-stitch in the next one. So that's a double crochet, chain 2, and a double crochet in the same stitch, and chain 1. Okay, then you skip 3 and you make your loop. Skip 3, make your loop. So you make a total of 4 loops in between your V-stitch corners. They're called corners because they're going to turn our work as we're working along. They're going to turn it. And you're going to end up with a square, and then we go from there. Actually, no, we're going to end up with a square. And then continue working, and your top will end up like this. Your neckline will end up in a square, and as you work your top is going to build outwards this way, and this other way. Okay, it's just going to keep building up, and I'll show you the point where to try it on. But let's just finish this row, and then I will show you what to do on the next row. Now I'm at the end of that row. I made my last loop. I chained 1, and then you will have 1, 2, 3 stitches left. So what you're going to do is after you've chained chained 1 here, we're going to go right over to that first double crochet there and just slip stitch into it, and then we're going to slip stitch right into the center of that V-stitch. Okay, and then we'll chain 1, and now what we're going to do in that V-stitch is we're going to make 2 V-stitches, and we're going to separate them by a chain 2. All right, so make a double crochet right into that V-stitch. So it's a double crochet, and then chain 2, and then go right back in with a double crochet, and that'll be our first V-stitch. And then we're going to chain 2, which is going to be a space. Okay, and then we're going to make another V-stitch right in that same spot. So double crochet, chain 2, and double crochet. So now we have put 2 V-stitches into this V-stitch. We have a V-stitch here and a V-stitch there. And this in between is just a chain 2. Okay, it's a space. Okay, now after the V-stitches, what do? You chain 1. So we'll chain 1. Okay, now we're up to our loop. So I'm going to call this a scoop of ice cream. It's ice cream. That's what it is, an ice cream. Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to make a bowl. Okay, so we're going to yarn over and we're going to make a double crochet into that ice cream. So that's a double crochet. We're going to chain 1. We're going to make another double crochet into the ice cream. We're going to chain 1 after that one as well. Make another double crochet into the ice cream, and then we're going to chain 1 after that one as well. So your top is actually going to look like this on you because this is your neckline. So you have a bowl with some ice cream in it. Okay? All right, so we'll go next to the next ice cream and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to make a double crochet, a chain 1, a double crochet, a chain 1, a double crochet, a chain 1. Okay, go to the next ice cream, make a bowl. Double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1. Go to your next ice cream and make a bowl. Double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1. That's what we're going to repeat around this row. Okay, let's do that again. Okay, we're up to our V-stitch here. So we're going to put 2 V-stitches in there separated by a chain 2. So the first V-stitch is a double crochet, chain 2, and a double crochet. Make a chain 2 space by chaining 2. Go in that same V-stitch with another V-stitch. So your V-stitch is a double crochet, chain 2, and a double crochet. And then we chain 1. Go over to our bowl of ice cream and make, our ice cream and make a bowl. So that was a double crochet, chain 1, a double crochet, chain 1, a double crochet, chain 1. Go to your next ice cream, do the same thing. Make your bowl, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet all into that ring, chain 1. Go into the next ice cream, double crochet, chain 1, right back in that ice cream, double crochet, chain 1, back in the ice cream, double crochet, chain 1. Okay, we have one more ice cream. We're going to make a bowl, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1. So if you turn it this way, the way you're going to wear it, you have a bowl and you got some ice cream in it. Okay, now we're back to our V-stitch corner here. So we're going to put 2 V-stitches in there separated by a chain 2. So let's go ahead and do that. So a V-stitch is a double crochet, chain 2, and then a double crochet, and then a chain 2 is our space to separate them, and then another V-stitch. So double crochet, chain 2, and double crochet. After your V-stitch, you make a chain 1. And then continue that repeat all the way around. Make your bowl in your ice cream. 2 V-stitches separated by a chain 2 in your V-stitches. And I'll meet you at the end of this row. Now we're nearing the end of that row. So I moved my stitch markers and I put them right in that chain 2 space between the 2 V-stitches. It's actually going to help us as we go along. Okay, so I made my last bowl in the ice cream, my second last one I should say, and then I have another bowl of ice cream here, my last bowl. I'm sorry, we have ice cream here, I have to make a bowl. So we're going to make the double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1. Okay, now we're up to our V-stitches. So this first V-stitch that we made, we are going to slip stitch into that first double crochet, just slip stitch right into near the top of that chain 3 we have in there. And oh, is that a double crochet? Yeah, it's a double crochet. Okay, now we're going to slip stitch into the middle of our V-stitch. And then we're going to chain 1. Now we're not going to put a V-stitch in those V-stitches. We're going to put more ice cream in there. We're going to have ice cream all over the place. All right. So go back into that V-stitch with your hook, grab your yarn, pull up, and we're going to make a single crochet and then chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go back into that V-stitch and make a single crochet. Now after you've made that single crochet, normally you would chain 1, but we don't need to chain 1 because the next space we're going into is very, very close. So we do not need an extra chain to get over to the next spot. Okay? So the next spot is the chain 2 space between these 2 V-stitches. So what we're going to do in there is we're going to make 2 V-stitches separated by a chain 2, just like we did before. Okay, so make a V-stitch, okay, chain 2, go right back in that V-stitch and make another V-stitch. Okay, we have our ice cream here. We have a V-stitch, a chain 2, and a V-stitch. Okay, so I'm going to move my stitch marker right now and put it in that chain 2 space that separates those 2 V-stitches. Now normally after a V-stitch we would chain 1. We're not going to, because we only need to go right into this space right here. It's very close, so we don't need that extra chain to help us get to the next stitch. We're right next to it, so we don't need that chain 1. Okay, so now we're going to make ice cream in the next V-stitch. Okay, so go right into it with a single crochet, chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, go right back in and make a single crochet. Okay, we've made our ice cream. Now the next stitch we need to go into is over here. We're going to go into the very top center of that center double crochet right there. So we need to chain 1 to help us get over here. See, that's quite a distance to go. So that's where we chain 1 to get to our stitches that are further away. Okay, now in this middle double crochet right in this stitch right on the very top, oops, sorry, right here, right there, we're going to go in there with a single crochet right here. Okay, right there, right there. Okay, going in there with a single crochet, and we're going to make some more ice cream. We're going to chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go right back in there with a single crochet and a chain 1, because we need that chain 1 to help us get over to that center double crochet right there between these two. So the stitch right on top of that double crochet right here, we're going to go in there with again another ice cream. So single crochet, chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right back in there with a single crochet and then a chain 1. And then we're going to go right in that same space above the next, the double crochet that's in the center of these 3, right here. I'm going to go in there and make some ice cream. So, single crochet, chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then go right back in that same spot with a single crochet and a chain 1. Okay, do that again in the next one. Single crochet, chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, single crochet in the same spot, chain 1. All right, now we're up to our 2 V-stitches that are separated by that chain 2. That first V-stitch we're going to make ice cream. So we're going to go into it. We've already chained 1 to get way over here. Go into it with a single crochet, chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then another single crochet. And there's our ice cream. Now remember, we don't make a chain 1 to get over here because this is very close. In here we're going to make a V-stitch separated, 2 V-stitches separated by a chain 2. So double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, that's our first V-stitch. We're going to make that chain 2 space, so chain 2, and then another V-stitch in the center of that V-stitch. Okay. So there it is, our V-stitch, chain 2, V-stitch. So I'm going to move my stitch marker up into that chain 2 space. Okay, right here. And remember, we don't chain 1 after that V-stitch, because we're only going right here, right next door. We don't need that extra stitch to get us over here. Okay? So in this V-stitch, we are going to make some ice cream. Make a single crochet, chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then go back in that V-stitch with a single crochet. And now we're going to have to get over here like we did just a little while ago. We need to get into the top of that double crochet in the center of these 3 double crochets. So we need to chain 1 to help us get there. Otherwise your work will be wonky. It could be rippled because it's pulled too tight. So we need that chain 1. So again, we're going to put single crochet in the top of that middle double crochet. We're going to chain 5. Okay, I was talking, I wasn't counting. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then go back into that same stitch on the top of that double crochet with a single crochet and then chain 1. All right, so continue that all the way around this row, and I'll meet you at the end of this row. All right, we're at the end of that row. Now you may notice a couple of stitch markers here. This bigger stitch marker is marking the beginning of my row, so I can keep track of where it is. And this one, of course, is marking the chain 2 between those 2 V-stitches. Okay, so I just made my last ice cream there, and I've chained 1 right on top of that double crochet in the middle there. And now I'm going to go over to this ice cream. So instead of just going right into it and losing track of my rows, that's why I have a stitch marker. Okay, then I'm just going to slip stitch near the top of it. And then I'm going to slip stitch right in the middle of the ice cream. I'm going to chain 1, and then I'm going to make another ice cream in the ice cream. So we're going to go in, we're going to make a single crochet. I'm going to chain 5, just like before. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then go right back into that ice cream with a single crochet. And remember, we don't, in these corners, we don't chain the 1 after our ice cream and our V-stitches. Okay, so we can take this stitch marker out right now and move it up into that ice cream. Okay, now the next thing we have is a V-stitch. We have this V-stitch right here. We're going to put an ice cream in the V-stitch. Told you we're going to have a lot of ice cream. So single crochet, chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go back in the ice cream with a single crochet. And now we're in that chain 2 space, so that's where we make our 2 V-stitches separated by a chain 2. So here's a V-stitch. And then our chain 2 separation, and then a V-stitch in the same spot. Now we can move our stitch marker into that chain 2 space. Okay, so we'll go into the next V-stitch with some ice cream. Single crochet, chain 5, and single crochet. Then we have our next ice cream. Just go right into it. Make another ice cream. Okay, now we have, this is our, we have the ice cream, a bowl, and ice cream. So in this ice cream, we're going to make another bowl. So because we have this big space, well, the space to go over to get here, that's where we need to chain the 1 after our ice cream over here. Okay, so we're going to go into that ice cream with double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, and double crochet, chain 1. Okay, do the same thing in the next ice creams. So let's just go ahead and do that. Double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, so we're going to be repeating that for our ice creams, these 4 ice creams, and then when we get to the corner where we have an ice cream in a V-stitch, we'll put an ice cream in there, ice cream in the next V-stitch, 2 V-stitches separated by a chain 2 in this chain 2 space, ice cream in that V-stitch, ice cream in this ice cream because it's connected to a V-stitch. So let's, I'll show you that. We'll just do all that right now. Okay, so the next one, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1. Got another ice cream that's in this bowl, so we'll do double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1. Okay, now we have this ice cream in the V-stitch, so we're going to put an ice cream in there. Single crochet, chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then a single crochet again, and we do not chain 1. And why is that? Because our next stitch is close by, so we don't need that chain 1 to get over to it. So it's a V-stitch. We're going to put an ice cream in there. Then we have that chain 2 space. So we're going to put 2 V-stitches separated by a chain 2. So that's the first V-stitch, and then we're going to chain 2, and then put our other V-stitch. right in the same spot. Okay, now I'm going to move my stitch marker up and put it up into that chain 2 space. And now we have a V-stitch next to it, so we'll just go ahead and put ice cream in the V-stitch. Then we have our ice cream on top of the V-stitch, so we'll put an ice cream in there. Alright, so now we need to go over to this ice cream here. So in order to go over here, we need to chain 1. Okay, now we're going to make a bowl in that ice cream. So that was a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1. Continue making your bowls in the ice cream. So every time we do a new row, we're going to repeat. Well, we're going to end up with ice cream bowl, ice cream bowl, ice cream bowl. Okay, ice cream bowl, ice cream, the bowl, ice cream, the bowl, and keep alternating like that. But every time we get to a V-stitch, we're going to put, that has an ice cream in it, we're going to put ice cream in the ice cream. It's going to be a lot of ice cream. So here is, so I'll let you continue on with that. And here's what your piece is looking like. See, it's growing. Growing outwards, upwards, out, and outwards. And then I'll show you, once we've done a few rows, I will show you where to try it on to size it to yourself. Now, I almost forgot to mention this. The row you want to finish on is the ice cream row, and that's what's going to make your border over your shoulders. Okay, so that's going to be the border around your shoulders. Okay, that ice cream row, that's what you want to finish on before you try it on to see if it fits. When you think it's going to fit you, that's the row you want to finish on, so you have that nice nice loopy border around your shoulders. All right, so this is what your piece is going to look like once you've done several rows. Okay, so what you're going to do is make sure your working yarn is down here. And then you're going to put this over your head. It's going to lay like that. So we've made our shoulders and the front, and the back has been started as well. I really like these one piece because you can work on the front and back at the same time just by going around, and it's, yeah, it's so easy. So then you take your back and your front, hold them together. You can do this on a table too, you know, lay it on a table and do this and pin it and then try it on. Okay, grab the front and the back, hold it together like this, and then see if you're going to have, if it's big enough, because now we're going to start working around in separate rows, but around and around and around. to make the rest of the body. So now remember, your neckline will stretch out a little bit, as you know, because of the weight of the top, even though it's not that heavy. So I'm going to start making the rest of the body. All right, now you have your top folded over, and this is the neck here and shoulder. So you go down here, and with those corners, we're gonna hook the back and the front together with stitch markers, or whatever you have. Okay, right in that chain 2 space between these V stitches. So you go in there, take this one out from the back, and then go into that chain 2 there between the V stitches. Okay, now you have your corner hooked together, your front and back hooked together. And do this one on the other side. Okay, make sure you are in that chain 2 space between those 2 V stitches. All right. Okay, so here's our working yarn. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to pull these out because I didn't show you that. This is the start of our rows. You should have that marked with a stitch marker. Okay. Okay, we've made the bowl here. We've chained 1, and then we're going to slip stitch into that ice cream, into one of those chains, and then we're going to put go right in the middle of that ice cream, make a slip stitch, chain 1, and then we're going to make our ice cream again, because we have ice creams all the way down here. Okay, go in there, make your single crochet, chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go in back in that ice cream with a single crochet. Okay, your next ice cream is close by, so you don't have to do a chain 1. You're only going to be doing chain 1s when you're doing this, the bowls and ice cream that are in the middle of your top. Okay, go into your next ice cream with an ice cream. Okay, you're probably all yelling at me, put your stitch marker there, because this is the beginning of our round. Okay. So continue putting ice creams into every ice cream, and then I'll show you what to do when we get to this corner here. All right, now I'm at the corner. So we have a V-stitch right here. We want to just go right into that and make an ice cream. Single crochet, chain 5. And a single crochet back in that V-stitch. All right, so now we have these chain twos right here. We're going to just make an ice cream across those 2 stitches. Okay, so go into that chain 2 space with a single crochet, and then we chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we go back. We go into the chain 2 space where our stitch marker is connected to, and we do a single crochet. So that connects your front and your back together. Okay, and then when we come back around, I'll show you what you do in this. Okay, so in the next one, there's a V-stitch. Just put an ice cream in there. Ice cream in the ice cream. Continue putting ice creams in the ice creams. Okay, until we get up to our bowl. And I'll show you what to do there. It's the same as what we've been doing before. But watch for that bowl. You could put a stitch marker here if you want, so you don't miss that section. Okay, I'll meet you here. Now, when you've made your last ice cream here in the ice creams, we're going to go over to this, like we did before, we're going to go over to this middle double crochet here. So in order to get over there, we're going to chain 1. Okay, then we're going to put an ice cream in that middle double crochet. So just go into that stitch right there, right on top of the double crochet, with a single crochet, chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then go back in that same spot with a single crochet, and then we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to go to the next middle double crochet with our ice cream. And then chain 1. So we always make sure we have a chain 1 when we're doing this fancy stitch that's down the back, front, and on the shoulders. So when you're in the corners, you don't have to chain 1. When you do the bowls, it's a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1. So you already have your automatic chain 1 after each of these double crochets. Okay, hope I'm not confusing you. All right, so go to the next one. Put your ice cream on top of there. So this is our repeat for this row. When you come around the next row, we're going to do the bowl in these. So you'll be watching for your bowl and the ice cream, and then we'll put a bowl on the ice cream, a bowl on the ice cream. But I'll meet you there, okay? Okay, we have this corner we need to work into where we bridge the back and the front, or hook the back and the front together. Let's see, that's the beginning of my row. I've made all my ice creams in my ice creams all the way. Made the last ice cream there, and do not chain 1. And so we have this, it's an open ice cream. So then we're just going to go right around that chain, make a single crochet just like it's a closed in ice cream. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we're going to go right back into it with a single crochet, or right around it. Okay, and then we'll do the next ice cream, and then we'll take a look at what we just did. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Back in that ice cream. Okay, so that's what we just did. So this is our ice cream again. And you will have to sew, you might have to, it depends on what you like. You may have to sew this part together. The shoulder is right up, oh, where are you, shoulder? Right up here. And this is the underarm, the opening. And then you may have to sew that together. And I'll show you how to do that too. I'm going to actually crochet it together. And I'll show you how to do that. Alright, so just continue making your ice creams in the ice creams. No chain one in between, remember, because this is considered a corner. And then when we get up here, do the bowl, but I'll show you again. Alright. I just made my last ice cream. And then we're going to go over to this ice cream and make our bowl. So we need to chain one. Okay, so our bowl is double crochet, chain one, double crochet, chain one, double crochet, chain one. So that's what I was talking about before, that chain one is automatic in the bowl. So the bowl's in the ice cream, but if you turn it around to the way you're going to be wearing it, the ice cream is in the bowl this way, the way it should be. Okay, so just go over to your next ice cream and make that bowl because you have a bowl under it. Double crochet, chain one, double crochet, chain one, double crochet, chain one. So make your bowls in these ice creams, and then continue doing that all the way around, alternating between the bowl and the ice cream, and doing your ice creams here, and make it as long as you want. Make it into the beach cover up if you want. It can also be worn as a dress, and I'll be showing you how to make that belt as well at the end of this video. You want to make sure that you end your bottom on the ice cream row as well, because then you'll have this nice cute little border around, you know. So you would put an ice cream under this, or on top of this bowl, and so you have ice creams all the way around the bottom. So it just gives this cute little border all the way around to match what I mentioned on the shoulder part. Yeah, so make it as long as you want. You can make it shorter for a top, which is what I'm going to do with this one. There are no increases as you go down. There's no moving up a hook size as you go down, like sometimes I do, because this, let me show if I can show you here, because this design actually has a built-in flare. Let's see. I wonder. Oh, I'm so sorry. That's okay. Let's look at it this way. See, this is the armhole right here, and as you go down, can you see that? It goes out. So there's a built-in, there's an actual built-in, let me get this even here. Can you see that? It goes, starts to go out on an angle. So it's a built-in flare. Yes. So there you go. All right. Now, when you have the length finished, if you made it really long to make a beach cover-up or a dress, or if you're just making it shorter for a top, that's awesome. That's up to you. And then what you're going to have to do is try it on again and put a stitch marker under your arm, and then that part I think I showed you that it was, you might have to sew up just a little bit. Well, I've crocheted up that part under my arm, so I'm just going to show you on the other side how I did that. Alrighty. So I tried the top on, put a stitch marker under my arm, and made so this is the armhole, and it ends up being like a little cap sleeve. And then, okay, do I have this inside out? We must have it inside out, I do, to crochet what I'm going to show you here. So that's where we hooked the back and front together, and then this is where I'm going to crochet up to close that space in. Or if it's a beach cover-up, if you've made it long enough to be a beach cover-up, then if you want, you could leave that open. I mean, that would give you more air, right? Okay. So what I'm going to do is right where I have the stitch marker in, and I counted to make sure I have the same number of loops on both sides, like the back and front, so that it's going to be all even. And then I'm going to put the stitch marker through those loops. And then pull my yarn through, chain one, then I'm going to make a single crochet in there, and then all I'm going to do is I'm going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to go to the next set of loops, go in there, make a single crochet, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, go to the next set of loops and do the same thing, a single crochet, 1, 2, 3, chain 3, and then the next set of loops, single crochet, and we're almost there. Next loops, chain 3, the next loops, or this is actually, these are V stitches, we'll go through both of those V stitches, single crochet, chain 3, and then where that stitch marker is, that was in our chain 2 space, put a single crochet in there, and let me see, there's a little bit of a space still, so I'm going to get the stitch marker out of my way and chain 3, and then we have a couple more of those chains, just go through those like before, single crochet, and then chain 1, and then cut your yarn and then sew it in now or later, whenever. Okay, we can take these stitch markers out and pull that tight, and then, like I said, just sew them in. So now I'm going to turn my top back to the right side. That was fast, right? So then, where is it? It's here somewhere. Okay, so it's here. It's right here. You can see where I've done it there. So it's almost can't even notice it. All right, so the last thing, I still have some more crocheting to do on the bottom because I just wanted to get this part filmed and then work on that bottom. So around the neckline, all I'm gonna do is a single crochet. If you did the back loop only, then, or the bump when you were working on the top, maybe you don't have to do this. So just pull your yarn through, chain 1, go back in that chain, make a single crochet, go in your next one, single crochet, your next chain, single crochet, next chain, single crochet, next one, single crochet. And you know, I don't actually mind when it looks like this. I think it just gives extra detail to your top. But that could be just me. All right, so I'll meet you at the end of this single crochet row. Now we're at the end of the single crochet row, so we're just going to slip stitch, not into that chain 1 we made, but into the single crochet. Okay, slip stitch, yes. Slip stitch through there, chain 1, and then we'll sew that one in. If you're new to crochet, welcome to the crochet family. I'll show you how to sew it in. Turn it over and you can weave it in and out of your stitches. What I like to do is I like to go back on the stitch, not in where we just came out because it'll undo, but just go past that or over top of it and maybe go a few times, like 3 times, and cut off your yarn, and Bob's your uncle. I never actually had an Uncle Bob. Have you? All right, now, once you've sewn in the rest of your ends, whatever ends you have, you're done, and made the lengths that you want. You're done. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to make a belt. Now for the belt, I am going to put 2 yarns together. I thought this would look cute with the aqua color and a white. And this is white I had left over from making the beach cover-up. Yeah, the one that's white and purple this is the same design. But anyway. So what we're going to do is we're going to leave a pretty long end because we're going to put beads on that afterward. So all you do is make a slip knot, put on your hook. All we're going to do is make a chain, a long chain. That's going to be long enough to loop, like to go around your waist, or if you want it just under your girdles, just make a long chain and then try it on, and then leave. Like, it has to be long enough, of course, for you to tie it up together. Oh, it's obvious, right? Maybe you want to tie it into a bow, so you may want to leave make it really long. All right, so you don't have to count, unless you do want to mark it down for next time you want to make one. And you can use, you know, 2 of the same color of yarn, whatever you like. All right, so I'm going to continue making this chain. When you get to the end of your chain, just leave a long tail like you did at the beginning for your bead. Okay, be right back. All right, I've made my chain, made it quite long so that I can tie it into a bow. So now we're just going to make a long tail for your beads. Cut it. Okay, so now the beads that I've chosen are these. These ones right here have, I don't even remember where I got them, but they have the aqua color and they also have white, little white design. And then the other ones are these. So I'm going to thread my yarn, see if I can get both through. Thread my needle, I mean. Oh yeah, whew, that was a little tough, but got them both through. All right, now see if I can get them. Okay, put the small one on first. Okay, and this one has a small hole. I know my needle fits through because I already tried it, but will the yarn? Oh yes, all right. Why is it you always grab the wrong one first? Okay. And then I'm going to put this, if I pulled it out like that, that would work better for me, wouldn't it? There we go. Okay, so I think that looks cute. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold it as tight to the beads as I can. And let's see, how do I do this when I'm not filming? Then make a knot. It's always a little different when you're filming. Okay. Make a knot as close to those beads as you can. Make another one, 2 or 3 if you like, so that it's big enough your beads won't slide off, of course. And like, you don't have to add beads. Okay, this is how I do it. Hope you can see what I'm doing. All right, there. So there's my knot that'll hold the beads on. And then you can cut your yarn. You can leave it long, you know, just for fun. You can leave a long tail if you like, I don't know. Or cut it shorter, just below that knot a little bit. And again, Bob's your uncle. All right. So I'm going to do the other end off camera, but that's just how I made this little belt or tie. All right, so I think that's it. We're done. So thank you so much for joining me, and I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial and found it easy to follow. Please let me know what you think of it in the comments. I greatly appreciate your input. I mean, I do all this for you guys, you know, so you need to play a part, right? All right, thank you so much, and enjoy your new wearable.